Every big dream starts somewhere. Mine started in a place nobody believed in. Yeah. Small town kid with a big time vision, working overtime with relentless ambition. Everybody said I should lower my sights, but I couldn't sleep without chasing mine. Lunch break, plotting another move. Late night studying what successful people do. Saving dollars when it wasn't fun. Building brick by brick, one by one. The dream wasn't really about the money, it was proving possibility. Showing myself that discipline could turn potential into reality. The dream got bigger, the work got harder. The $1 million dream started here, in a truck with a half-full tank. The $1 million dream started here, when nobody thought I had a chance. One step, 1 mile, one sacrifice at a time. The $1 million dream started here, long before the finish line. Setbacks by the dozen, mistakes and lessons becoming one. Times I wondered if I'd gone too far, chasing something beyond where we are. But every successful person I met had a story filled with sweat. Nobody magically arrives, everybody pays a price. So I kept showing up each day, even when progress felt far away. Trusting consistency would eventually build the future standing in front of me. Dreams are cheap, commitment is rare. The $1 million dream started here, in a truck with a half-full tank. The $1 million dream started here, when nobody thought I had a chance. One step, 1 mile, one sacrifice at a time. The $1 million dream started here, long before the finish line. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a decade. Keep showing up, stay the course, keep building. Now look farther down the road, and the dream still continues to grow. Not because I need more things, but because growth became everything. Because the journey changed the man more than the destination can. The discipline, the sacrifice, the willingness to pay the price. And even if I never reach every goal I set for me, the person I've become along the way makes every struggle worth the stay. The $1 million dream started here, in a truck with a half-full tank. The $1 million dream started here, when nobody thought I had a chance. One step, 1 mile, one sacrifice at a time. The $1 million dream started here, long before the finish line. The $1 million dream started here, and it's still alive tonight. 'Cause dreamers never stop, they just aim high. The dream wasn't built in a day. It was built in thousands of ordinary ones. money comes and goes, but a good name lasts forever. My daddy never owned a mansion, never wore $1,000 suit. Worked overtime most Fridays with grease and dirt on his boots. He taught me how to shake a hand, look a man straight in the eyes, keep your word when nobody's watching, and never live a life of lies. Said, son, one day I'll be gone, and all you're really on is the reputation that follows, the fame and name you carry on. Those words still echo every day I live. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I'm proud to carry it. More valuable than gold, more important than fame. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I won't dishonor it, because a good man's legacy lives long after he's gone. Hey. I remember riding shotgun in that old truck after dark, listening to stories and lessons while passing county farms. He wasn't perfect, neither am I, but he gave me something rare, a blueprint for becoming a man in a world that doesn't care. Now every decision that I make, every promise that I keep, feels like another brick laid down on the foundation underneath. Some men leave money, some men leave wisdom. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I'm proud to carry it. More valuable than gold, more important than fame. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I won't dishonor it, because a good man's legacy lives long after he's gone. The world measures success by dollars and possessions, but I've met rich men with empty hearts and poor men full of character. My daddy taught me character is the real inheritance. Carry it on, carry it on. And now I've got my own road ahead, my own battles left to fight, but every lesson he gave me still helps me sleep at night. And when my time eventually comes and my story reaches the end, I hope somebody says my name the way I still say his, because that's the kind of wealth you can't buy or sell. A legacy built through sacrifice and a life lived well. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I'm proud to carry it. More valuable than gold, more important than fame. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and I won't dishonor it, because a good man's legacy lives long after he's gone. All I've got is my daddy's last name, and someday I'll pass it on to another dreamer further down the road. He didn't leave me millions, he left me something better. name worth protecting. These boots have seen things most people only hear about. Stuffed up leather by the front door, older now than they were before, covered in dust from 1,000 roads, carrying stories nobody knows. They walk factory floors at dawn, stayed moving when hope was gone, stood beside hospital beds at night and kept me steady through every fight. They crossed county lines in pouring rain and walked through heartache, loss and pain. Every scratch and every stain got a memory attached to his name. A man leaves footprints long before he leaves memories. If these boots could talk, they'd tell you where I've been. Every mountain climbed, every battle I didn't quit in. If these boots could talk, they'd tell you what I learned. Life ain't about what you take, it's about what you've earned. Hey! Hey! These boots stood next to my old man, learning everything a boy can about honesty and sacrifice and doing what's right the first time. These boots walked into my first job, nervous as hell, but giving it all I got. And when life handed out defeat, these boots refused to accept defeat. They danced at weddings, stood at graves, seen good years and hard days. And somehow through every chapter, they kept moving forward after. The road changes people 1 mile at a time. If these boots could talk, they tell you where I've been. Every mountain climbed, every battle I didn't quit in. If these boots could talk, they tell you what I learned. Life ain't about what you take, it's about what you've earned. The world sees old boots and thinks they're worn out. I see proof of a life lived, proof of lessons learned, proof that showing up matters. Keep walking, keep moving. One day they'll sit by the door and carry me no more, but before that day finally comes, there are still miles left to run. Still dreams worth chasing, still people worth loving, still roads worth driving, still mornings worth rising. And when my grandchildren ask someday about the past that shaped my way, I'll point right down toward these boots and say, that's where the story starts. If these boots could talk, they tell you where I've been. Every mountain climbed, every battle I didn't quit in. If these boots could talk, they tell you what I learned. Life ain't about what you take, It's about what you've earned.
If these boots could talk, they'd say don't fear the road, 'cause every mile you survive
becomes part of your soul. The boots wear out, but the stories never do. The boots wear out, but the stories never do. Looking back, everything good in my life started with those two people. Mama had her hands folded every night, talking to heaven long after midnight, praying for protection, praying for grace, praying we'd all find our place. Daddy woke before the morning light, steel-toe boots and a workday fight. Never said much about sacrifice, just lived it every day of his life. We weren't rich by any means, but somehow we had everything, because love filled up the empty spaces money couldn't reach. One taught faith, one taught responsibility. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, that's how this family survived. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and somehow we always got by. One carried hope, one carried the load, together they carried us all. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and built a life from almost nothing. Storms rolling through, bills stacked higher than they should, yet somehow panic never stayed long around our place. Mama said God will provide, Daddy nodded and kept working overtime, and watching them taught me something. Faith and effort belong together, not just hoping things improve, not just grinding without truth, but believing while you're building. That's where real strength moves. Faith gave direction, work made it happen. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, that's how this family survived. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and somehow we always got by. One carried hope, one carried the load, together they carried us all. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and built a life from almost nothing. I remember storms rolling through, bills stacked higher than they should, yet somehow panic never stayed long around our place. Mama said God will provide, Daddy nodded and kept working overtime, and watching them taught me something. Faith and effort belong together, not just hoping things improve, not just grinding without truth, but believing while you're building. That's where real strength moves. Faith gave direction, work made it happen. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, that's how this family survived. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and somehow we always got by. One carried hope, one carried the load, together understand what they gave, more with every year and every age. Because raising a family ain't easy, and carrying responsibility is heavy. If I become half the parent they were, I consider my life a success. Because their example still guides me through every challenge ahead. And someday when my children ask how we made it through hard paths, I'll smile and tell them the truth, the same one I learned from those two. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, that's how this family survived. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and somehow we always got by. One carried hope, one carried the load, together they carried us all. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and built a life from almost nothing. Mama prayed, Daddy worked, and their legacy remains, and every lesson running through our name. The older I get, the more extraordinary, ordinary people become. Everybody else saw empty ground. I saw the future standing there. It was nothing but weeds and fence posts, a forgotten field where nobody goes. No fancy gate, no shining barn, just raw dirt underneath the stars. Folks would drive by and shake their heads, wondering why I'd buy that stretch. But every time I stood right there, I could already see it clear. Children running through the grass, a porch where generations laugh, a place where family roots grow deep, long after I'm asleep. Vision sees tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. The ranch I saw before it existed started as a dream in my mind. The ranch I saw before it existed was built one sacrifice at a time. One fence, one field, one sunrise worth chasing. The ranch I saw before it existed became the life I was creating. Yeah. Hey, every paycheck had a purpose. Every overtime shift was worth it, because dreams get expensive when you're serious about building them. There were seasons full of doubt, times I almost backed out, but every great thing standing tall once looked impossible to us all. The barn came first, then came the road, then came the trees along the rows, and slowly what lived inside my head started becoming real instead. Dreams become reality when action catches up. The ranch I saw before it existed started as a dream in my mind. The ranch I saw before it existed was built one sacrifice at a time. One fence, one field, one sunrise worth chasing. The ranch I saw before it existed became the life I was creating. Most people wait to believe until until they can see it. Builders believe first and spend years proving it. Build the vision, stay the course. Now when the evening sun drops low and paints the pasture fields in gold, I sit back and take it in, thinking about where it all began. Not with money, not with luck, not with perfect timing, but with a stubborn dream, refusing to die because every legacy starts invisible, every future starts uncertain, and every meaningful thing starts with somebody willing to believe.
The ranch I saw before it existed
started as a dream in my mind.
The ranch I saw before it existed
was built one sacrifice at a time.
one fence, one field,
One sunrise worth chasing.
The ranch I saw before it existed
became the life I was creating. The ranch I saw before it existed. And someday, after I'm gone, the dream will keep living through the family moving on. The world calls it property. I call it a dream that learned how to stand. The hardest fight I ever had wasn't with the world. I spent years blaming everyone else for the cards I was dealt and the pain I felt, pointing fingers at circumstance, waiting on somebody to give me a chance. I cursed the road and cursed the rain, cursed the losses and the pain, never realizing the truth all along. The biggest battle was at home. Every morning in the mirror glass, a question waited every pass. Would I stay the same old man, or become the one I knew I can? The day I stopped making excuses, everything changed. The man in the mirror won. The fight finally ended. The doubts got smaller, the vision got bigger. The man in the mirror won. When I chose discipline, when I chose growth, when I chose to begin. Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Nobody saved me from the struggle. Nobody carried me through trouble. The breakthrough came when I understood responsibility was actually good, because ownership is power. Built one decision every hour. Every promise kept to myself became another brick of wealth. Not money and wealth, I'm talking character. The kind that survives disaster, the kind nobody can steal, because it's forged from something real. The world stayed hard, I became harder. The man in the mirror won. The fight finally ended. The doubts got smaller, got bigger. The man growth when I chose to begin. Most people think victory looks like trophies and applause. Sometimes victory looks like keeping promises to yourself for one more day. Stay the course. Keep growing. Now when I look into those eyes, I see every sacrifice, every failure turn lesson, every setback turn blessing. The road is still long ahead. There are mountains left to climb, yeah, but something fundamental changed. The fire finally found its flame, because confidence isn't loud, it's earned quietly and proud. Through thousands of choices nobody sees, made consistently. The man in the mirror won. The fight finally ended. The doubts got smaller, the vision got bigger. The man in the mirror won. When I chose discipline, when I chose growth, when I chose to begin. The man in the mirror won, and the future opened wide, because everything changed the day I changed inside. I didn't beat the world, I beat the version of me that was holding me back. Sometimes life buries you so deep, you either stay there or dig your way out. Negative balance at the local bank, cold coffee mornings and unpaid bills, trying to survive on faith and will. Town said I wouldn't make it far, just another dream beneath these stars. Another young fool chasing smoke, another small town heart going broke. But every no became gasoline, every setback fed the machine, every scar became a road sign, pointing me toward a better life. The storm got louder, but so did I. This is a dirt road resurrection, built from pain and hard lessons. Every wound became a weapon, every loss became direction. Dirt road resurrection, from the bottom to redemption. When the world thought I was finished, God was writing my next chapter. Hey, hey, hey. I seen farmers pray for rain, seen mothers cry through hidden pain, seen old men work until their backs gave out, still never heard them talk about doubt. Around here we don't run away, we stand our ground and find a way. Through broken seasons and bad years, through heartbreak, struggle, blood and tears. Every kind of line I cross tonight feels like proof that dreams can fight, feels like proof that hope survives, even when the odds aren't right. Some people fall, some people rise. This is a dirt road resurrection, built from pain and hard lessons. Every wound became chapter. Hey. Hey. Maybe your truck won't start. Maybe your plans fell apart. Maybe your heart got broken. Maybe life left you hopeless, but the story ain't over. If you're still breathing, the sun always rises for those who keep believing. Keep believing. Keep believing. Now I'm rolling down this highway, watching darkness fade away. Golden sunrise through the trees, carrying the brand new peace. I ain't rich, but I feel blessed. Got fresh air inside my chest. Got another chance to drive. Got another day alive. And if tomorrow brings another storm, I meet it standing like before. Because the road taught me one thing true: you become what you fight through. This is a dirt road resurrection, built from pain and hard lessons. Every wound became a weapon, every loss became direction. Dirt road resurrection, from the bottom to redemption. When the world thought I was finished, God was writing my next chapter. Dirt road resurrection, still moving, still fighting, still chasing redemption. The road doesn't care where you started, only whether you keep moving. Another Friday night, another highway, another bottle trying to tell me lies. Yeah. Got a cracked rear view and a dashboard light. 300 miles from sleeping tonight. Town disappeared in the dust behind, but the ghost of yesterday still right. Used to think she was forever mine, like county roads and power lines. Now her picture's gone from the passenger side, but her memory still takes the ride. I put my pain in a bottle, tried drowning every regret, but every sip keeps bringing back things I can't forget. The jukebox keeps playing the same old songs, and every word reminds me of where I went wrong. Whiskey don't know my name, but it keeps calling me the same. Every night, every mile, every lonely pouring rain. Whiskey don't know my scars, don't know this broken heart, but it burns like her goodbye every time it hits the dark. Whiskey don't know my name, but it knows my pain. Seen truckers, welders, factory men trying to outrun where they been. Seen strong hearts lose a fight on the neon lights at midnight. Everybody's carrying something heavy, everybody's fighting unseen wars. Somewhere smiles like armor plate, some high behind no bar doors. The bartender nods from across the room like he understands my truth. No questions asked, just another glass and another excuse. But the deeper I sink, the clearer I see. The bottle ain't healing what's killing me. Whiskey don't know my name, but it keeps coming. but it knows my pain. Maybe healing ain't found at the bottom of a glass. Maybe moving forward means letting go of the past. Maybe freedom ain't running, maybe freedom is staying long enough to face everything you've been escaping. Sunrise coming through the fog, morning breaking over Arkansas. Bottle empty on the seat beside me, but something finally feels different. Maybe I ain't who I was, maybe that's enough. Maybe scars on the signs of weakness, maybe they're proof of love. The road keeps rolling, the sky turns golden. For the first time in forever, I feel hope taking hold. Whiskey don't know my name, and it don't get to anymore. I'm done giving in my story, done settling those scores. Whiskey don't know my scars, don't own this heart of mine. I'm still standing, still driving, still crossing every line. Whiskey don't know my name, and that's alright. Some roads lead home, some roads lead forward. The trick is knowing the difference. Nobody handed me the keys. I built the front door myself. I remember when the bank said no, and everybody told me let it go. Said a man like me couldn't reach their dream, but they didn't know what drives a man like me. Worked double shifts through the summer heat, concrete dust all over my feet. Saved every dollar that I could save, one brick at a time, one board, one nail. Friday nights while others went out, I was drawing plans and figuring it out. Sacrificing now for something later, trusting hard work would eventually pay off. Dreams don't build themselves, somebody's gotta swing the hammer. This is the house that grit built, the house that faith built, the house that long nights and hard fights created it. This is the house that grit built. Every scar in these walls, every lesson in these halls, every victory celebrated. Hey! Celebrated. Hey! Hey! There were months when money got tight and sleep was shorter every night, wondering if the pressure would win, wondering if I'd start again, but quitting never crossed my mind. Too much heart invested in the climb, 'cause every dream worth chasing down requires standing your ground. My daddy taught me years ago, a strong foundation starts below. When nobody sees the hidden work, that's what makes a structure whole, will last forever, gets built slowly. This is the house that grit built, the house that faith built, the house that really about the house. It's about becoming the person capable of building it. The dream changes you long before you achieve it. Run through these rooms, laughing underneath the afternoon, never knowing every sacrifice that helped create this life. And honestly, that's perfectly fine, 'cause every parent hopes in time the children get a better start than the one they had it hard. That's how legacies are made. One generation lifts the next, and every sacrifice today becomes tomorrow's blessing. This is the house that grit built, the house that faith built, the house that long nights and hard fights created. This is the house that grit built, every scar in these walls, every lesson in these halls. Steady. Anybody can buy a house, but not everybody can build a legacy. Some of us were born with silver spoons, and some of us were raised by the dust. Yeah. Backroad sunset on a worn-out Ford, county line sign in a rusty front porch. Daddy worked doubles, mama worked nights. Still somehow kept hope burning bright. Boots full of gravel, hands full of scars, dreaming big underneath those stars. No handouts came, no easy way, just sweat and faith at the end of the day. Small town soul with a stubborn mind, trying to leave every fear behind. Everybody doubted what I could become. Now they hear my ties when they hear me come. We were raised by the dust, built from the rust, holding on when life got rough. Got dirt on our hands, fire in our blood, still standing strong when enough ain't enough. Raised by the dust, never give it up. Every hard road made us tough. When the world shuts down, we still rise above. Yeah, we were raised by the dust. We were raised by the dust. Yeah, seen factories closing, dreams disappear. Seen grown men breaking, drowning fear. Seen old trucks run another 100 miles just because quitting ain't our style. Got a Bible riding shotgun seat and a little more faith than money this week. But I learned one thing on this winding road: the strongest backs carry the heaviest load. Cold nights driving beneath moonlight, searching for peace through tail lights. Every mile marker tells my name, every scar reminds me why I came. When the rain keeps falling, nobody calls. You learn real quick what makes a man stand.
tall. We were raised by the dust, built from the rust, holding on when life got rough. Got dirt on our hands, fire in our blood, still standing strong when enough ain't enough. Raised by the dust, never giving up. Every hard road made us tough. When the world shuts down, we still rise above. Yeah, we were raised by the dust. Maybe we ain't rich, maybe we never will be, but you can't buy grit, and you can't fake belief. Maybe nobody knows our names, maybe nobody feels our pain, but every blue-collar soul tonight knows exactly why we fight it. Sunrise breaking over Tennessee hills, still got dreams, ain't finished building, still got fuel in this old machine, still got faith in what I can't see. Every setback turned into fuel, every heartbreak taught me the rules, every dead end became a new lane, every storm became strength through pain. They can laugh from the ivory towers, we were forged in harder hours. We don't stop and we don't fold, that's how country legends grow. We were raised by the dust, built from the rust, holding on when life got rough. Got dirt on our hands, fire in our blood, still standing strong when enough ain't enough. Raised by the dust, never giving up. Every hard road made us tough. When the world shuts down, we still rise above. Raised by the dust. Raised by the dust. Raised by the dust. Forever. Forever. To every dreamer, every worker, every small town survivor, keep driving. The dust remembers your name. Nobody sees the future being built at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Yeah, alarm clock ringing before daylight, coffee black and steel toes tight. Another shift, another chance to move the family one step in advance. Everybody sees the finished house, nobody sees the overtime hours, nobody sees the weekends gone, trying to create something strong. The paycheck helped keep food around, but I was building more than that somehow. Every extra hour that I gave was another brick being laid. The sacrifice felt heavy, but the purpose felt bigger. I built a future from overtime, one long shift at a time. Build a future from overtime, turning sweat into a better life. Late nights, early mornings, and a dream that never died. I build a future from overtime, and I do it all again tonight. There were birthdays I came home late, trying to keep our dreams in place. Times I questioned if it was worth it, times the pressure almost won it. But every picture on the refrigerator made me push a little greater. Every drawing sign, love dad, made the hard days not seem so bad. Because purpose changes everything when responsibility gets heavy.
And a man will carry impossible weight for the people who call him family. The work wore down my body, but strengthened my resolve. I built a future from overtime, one long shift at a time. Build a future from overtime, turning sweat into a better life. Late nights, early mornings, and a dream that never died. I built a future from overtime, and I do it all again tonight. A lot of success stories are really sacrifice stories, told from the finish line years later, when the struggle becomes invisible. Clock back in, keep building. Now the kids are growing taller and the dreams are growing larger. The things we once prayed for are standing right in front of us. Not because of luck, not because of shortcuts, but because ordinary days were stacked on top of each other. And looking back, I finally see the overtime wasn't really about me. It was about creating choices for generations following me. Yeah, I built a future from overtime, one long shift at a time. Build a future from overtime, turning sweat into a better life. Late nights, early mornings, and a dream that never died. I built a future from overtime, and I do it all again tonight. I built a future from overtime, and the reward is clear. Watching my family stand on ground that took years. Most legacies aren't built in boardrooms. They're built on ordinary shifts no one remembers. When you're young, you don't understand your father's prayers for you. My father never asked for perfection, never demanded wealth or attention. He just hoped I'd grow into a man who'd stand tall when life got out of hand. Back then I thought I knew it all, too young to hear wisdom when it called, too busy chasing my own way to understand what he was trying to say. He'd tell me character matters most, long after success and applause are ghosts, and a man's true worth gets revealed when nobody's watching the field. I didn't understand then, but I do now. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. One lesson at a time, one responsibility at a time. I'm becoming the man way you're teaching slow, the truth your elders already know. Heartbreak, pressure, sacrifice become the greatest teachers in your life. Now when I look into the mirror, I see his influence getting clearer. In the way I work, in the way I lead, in the values I pass on and keep. Funny how the older I grow, the smarter my father seems to get. Maybe wisdom was there all along, and I just wasn't ready yet. Time reveals what youth overlooks. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. One lesson at a time, one responsibility at a time. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. Not perfect but improving, not but moving down the road he always believed I'd see. A good father plants seeds he may never see fully grown. He believes in your future before you believe in it yourself. Make him proud, stand tall. Children watching me the same way I once watched him, and suddenly every sacrifice makes perfect sense again. Because being a father changes everything. You stop thinking beyond yourself, you stop building beyond today, you stop praying beyond your own life. And if my father could see me now, I hope he'd recognize the values he planted years ago, still growing strong below. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. One lesson at a time, one responsibility at a time. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. Not perfect but improving, not finished but moving down the road he always believed I'd see. I'm becoming the man my father hoped I'd be. And if I've learned one thing, a father's love keeps guiding you long after childhood ends. Long after childhood ends. The greatest compliment I could ever receive is hearing someone say, "You're a lot like your father."